YouTube. This is Matt Master, and this is like the fourth time I've tried to film this. Things have just happened. Things have just happened. Okay, so this is my updated Igknight deck profile, and as you can see, I did do some changes. There's some not drastic changes, but there's some significant. Before I start, I'm gonna say, please help me with the side deck. I'm trying to get a good side deck for this deck. Um, I know how to combat the meta in a way with some cards, but I don't know how to combat it with this deck. I'm used to playing a back row deck, and this is not a back row deck. So, without further ado, please help me, and I want to say thank you ahead of time. And like, comment, subscribe, and let's go through the deck. Okay, so beginning, two Royal Magic. Oh, this is Igknight, if I forgot to say that. So, two Royal Magical Library. I had three, but three clogged a lot, and you don't really need Royal Magical Library to get your engine going. Playing the FTK build, sure, play three, but I don't feel three is needed. Two's fine. Two is completely fine. That's mostly all I have to say about that. Two Denko Sekka, you don't really have anything that stops your opponent's back row, so you can run into a lot of things, and Denko Sekka helps out a lot. Like against Yosenju, Telenites, BA, all that stuff. Denko Sekka kills. Starting with Ignites, I run three of the threes, three of each three. People sometimes run one, some people run two. Two's decent, three can clog once in a while, but really, is it really clogging when you can just pop both of them to search for the card you need? It's almost like, really? Does it really clog? I don't think it clogs as much as people think it does. Yeah, you might not be getting maybe I want two Paladins or two Templars. Well, you can get rid of two Squire to grab a Templar, and then you can get rid of two Crusader to grab a Paladin, or vice versa. It's not really that hard. You know what I mean, guys. You guys know what I mean. But yeah, three of each. Two maybe. I wouldn't cut it any more less than two, because then you'll never see them at one. And you'll get one more search if you have each one at two. That's mostly it. Alright. Three of each of the fours, standard. Three Gallant and three Mauggrave. Standard completely. One Rescue Hamster, mostly because you can only use its effect once per turn. I've seen profiles where they run like three of it, and I'm like, why? When you can only use this once per duel. That's what I meant, once per duel. And really, it's a decent effect, but you'll use this effect more often, and you can really only search for this, really. Well, with this, you can search for anything Margrave down, so, Gallant won't ever get out unless you're using this one effect, and this is more situational than this one. Most likely, it's a Winmore card. Granted, it's level 4, so it does have some synergy, but you're mostly just going to use it for this. You'll never, for its monster effect, this rarely, and you'll never Pendulum Summon with it. One Luster Pendulum, again, never Pendulum Summon. You'll use this effect sometimes. I find myself using the effect sometimes. But mostly it's just there for being a level 4 1850 attacker and to go into Ignister. That's really it. That's straight and simple. That's it for the monsters. On the spells, you got 3 Reinforcement of the Army standard, 3 Summoner Art standard, 3 Upstart Garden standard, 1 Pot of Riches. I just realized the other day that Ignites effects allow you to add 1 Fire Warrior monster from your deck or graveyard to your hand. So you can re-add your your monsters that go to the grave, which is great if they get destroyed because of you using Xyz, or they get popped as you place them. Great. But you only get you're not negging to the point that you are, but it's, I don't know how much of a plus that is. I guess you have to see if the ends justify the means, but this is a lot better because you re-add 3 of them to your deck, and then you draw 2 cards, which means you can add 3 Paladins, and then you can draw a Templar and a Gallant, and then search for a Paladin, or any combination of any of your pendulums. Here you can only search with these. You can only re-add Fire Warriors. With this, you can add anything from Crusader down to Luster Pendulum. It's just a better card for that situation. The only downside is you can't special summon, but if you put it in synergy with the 1 day apiece that I have next, you don't really have to worry about it. Yeah, so one day apiece, decent. I'm probably gonna take it. I might take this out and the Vanity's Emptiness for the field spell, but for right now, it's working pretty well. One Raigeki because I realize I have nothing to clear my opponent's board at all. I prefer Raigeki over Dark Hole, even though they go to the extra deck. I'd rather have some type of field presence, especially with no battle traps. For traps, 3 Titan's Throws, locks out your opponent. It's one of the main things. 3 sometimes can clog, people say, but you run 3 of so many other cards. The odds of you drawing 2 of them are not that high, and when I do, I still end up with a 4 monster board, so that if they do pop one of my Titan's Throws, I can use the other one and just continue to lock them. It's that good. And one Vanity's Emptiness, but like I said, I might take this out. Extra deck, 2 Ignites to Prominence. Great for Mirror Match or Cleaforts or really anything that you just need to just pop away. You'll never use its effect, and even if you do, you'll never use it. Because the only monster you can summon out now is Draco Slayer. And when you do that, Draco Slayer can't be used as a synchro, and it already can't be used for as an Xyz or fusion unless for a Draco Slayer. So really, you're just using him as a monster for like defense, or you're gonna pop him using its effect, and then pendulum summon it back, probably with a Paladin, and then tune to another one of these. But if you already have this on board, this is no longer in deck. But you know what I'm saying. You'll never use that. You'll hardly ever use that effect. I've never used it. I've used it in one build where I took Rescue Hamster out and played 2 of these. But when it's one of each of these, you'll never use the effect. Just want to hit that because I had it timed out before. On AZs, 1 Jedi Pearl for the Throws lock. Cyanide standard. Runganimiate standard. 2 Excalibur. I might take this down to 1, but I'm cautious because I would put in either a 101 or Castel, which are 2 great cards, or I don't know, maybe a Rhapsody and Berserk just for banishing plays and all that. But I like having 2 because that gives me 2 monsters that can go up to 4,000 in the extra deck, and a very simple, easy way. I have 6 cards that can summon it. Very simple. I also have 1 Dark Rebellion Xyz Dragon, love this card, and 1 Ptolemaeus to wrap up the 4s, and Ptolemaeus is only here for Concealed Diamond. I technically can go into the 5s. Is it just 5s? Yeah, it's like, isn't it detach? 3 special summon 1 extra deck, 1 monster the higher rank than this. Oh, okay. So I just said so you can summon any monster that's not a number up, but is a higher rank, which really would just be Gaia Charger, Photon Strike Bouncer, and Artifact Randall. So you might as well just keep going to Diamond afterwards, but if you have to, go for it. Yeah, but what I was saying, Diamond is just to do that. Just going to Diamond, yeah. Rest of 5s are Bulkasaurus, have you seen, and Artifact Durandal. Durandal's a really good card because it stops your opponent from like popping your scales. For 6s, I have 1 Utopia Beyond and 1 Photon Strike Bouncer, mostly because I realized I have no way to stop effects. And last but not least, Gaia Charger, just here because what's it called? Once these guys lose material, they have none, I don't want to have a dead card on field. And this at least gives me something. For side deck, like I said, I'm still testing it. Please give me any, help, support, feedback on it. I think it's doing well, but it could do better. 2 Majesty Fiends because I hardly ever worry about effects. In the main deck, I only have 6 effect monsters, and I could give it a take. I can care less. As long as my opponent's monsters can't use effects, I'm fine not having effects, because most of my monsters don't have effects. 1 Ultimate Baseball Kid, I just realized the other day that I can't use its burn effect, which sucks. Because I thought it was tribute fire monsters. It's it's gift sent to the grave. If they didn't have to touch grave, you'd be fine. this would be in the main deck. It's only in the side deck for the situation where I go up against the towers and I need to run over it, because it is searchable by their effect. 2 MST, mostly because if I run into a deck that uses mostly, what's it called? Game 2, people are going to side in a lot of stuff to stop you, and this is one of the main cards you want to kind of side in. It's mostly just to stop anti-spell fragrance. It's not to stop my opponent's pendulums or anything like that. It's mostly just to stop anti-spell fragrance. That's all I have to say. 2 pendulum impenetrable protects your pendulum scales. They're going to side in their MSTs. You don't want them to use them. 2 wavering eyes. When you go up against mirror match, cleave forwards, any pendulum deck, you want to side these in, because you run pendulum, so you can get up to the force. You can go up to the 4, which you can add another one of these. Banish one of your opponent's monsters on field. Add 1 pendulum monster from your deck to your hand, and inflict 500 points of damage to your opponent. So you're burning them, getting a free search, getting a free banish, and another search. So you can set this next turn, do the same thing. It's amazing. I might run this at 3, but that might be a bit too cloggy. I'm still testing at 2. So yeah, that's mostly it. And standard stuff: Shadow Imprisoning Mirror, Light Imprisoning Mirror, and Imperial Iron Wall. So guys, please like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you think about it. Give me any suggestions for side deck, extra deck, main deck, whatever. I do not want to run the FTK OTK build, so I know that's a okay build, or the Exodia build. I don't want to run either of those. I just want to run standard, Ignites as Ignites. And that's mostly it, guys. Please like, comment, subscribe, like I said before, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out, guys. Keep dueling.